You are looking live at the Nasdaq, and you can see that after this pullback here, first of all, let's go back a little bit to this breakout here from May. We had this cup with handle pattern. Cup with handle patterns do work, folks. Some folks have made their whole livelihood on these patterns and breaking out. I would say the breakout here happened in May, ran up here to July, 12% pullback here, and you can see this double bottom base. Okay, let's get up to today. I'm just going to start here from the top. July 19th, made this low, rallied up, and then made a retested the low and made a double bottom base. And now has pulled that D-bow and is ramped right through its 50, right? No, it got rejected. I know it would have been so easy for it to just go right through it. We'd have no problems, but rejection is part of life. And you didn't think it was going to be easy, did you? I was hoping it would go up 300 points today and just rip right through that 50 simple moving average, but it didn't, got rejected. Maybe it'll pull back for a couple of days, but you could see these short-term moving averages, the green line, which is the 10, the magenta, which is the 21, is starting to curl up now. So those short-term moving averages, they adjust quickly. And I would expect at some point for this index for it to rally through the 50, and we're going to get into a power trend here. I gotta say, when, not if. It's going to be soon, because I got to think positive. That's going to happen. No, seriously, I don't predict the future. It just got rejected at the 50 today, but I do believe these are going to curl up. The 10 and the 21 are going to go right through the 50. We're going to get ourselves on a power trend here in this fourth quarter. You got to believe, folks. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's the Nasdaq. I'm not going to go through the other indexes today. I want to get right to the Magnificent Seven. Then I'm going to go down the positive road here. No negative roads today. All right, this is Apple, double bottom, just like the index, and now got rejected at the 50 today. But you know what? I should have told you that the Nasdaq is 0.4% below its 50, and Apple is 0.2% below its 50. So you can see these short-term moving averages starting to curl up. So we're starting to head in the right direction. It's like a big battleship here. We're turning it around here, and we're going to start going north. I'm confident. I've got to believe. Apple is a big component, so it plays an important role. Microsoft, same thing, double bottom pattern, but this one is through the 50. Yeah, it pulled back, 0.5% today, but you can see it's 1.1% above the 50, and those short-term moving averages now are really starting to curl up. That one looks good. Google, this one is just forming a base here. You can see, what day is this? September 15th. So it's only been a couple of weeks here. It did have this base and it ripped higher, but then pulled back with general market weakness below the 50. And it's just one day, then it ripped right back through its 50 now and is 4% above the 50. So Google, one of the stronger Magnificent Seven stocks. Amazon is not. Amazon is floundering below the 50, and it has the same double bottom pattern look, as the other ones that I, pretty much showed you here. That's just because it's going to mimic what the index does, but this is well below the 50, so it's much weaker. Amazon is 3.6 below the 50, so it needs to power through here, and I believe it will. It's just lagging right now. But we got earnings coming up, and that could be a huge catalyst for these stocks. They're well positioned and well capitalized to benefit from the artificial intelligence boom. And this is Meta. Now, this one was consolidating in the base, and it was just trading along the 50, which I had a buy point here at $300. But now it's formed. You can see this clearly. It's like a flat base pattern, but it's more than 15% deep. It's 16% deep, so it's not a flat base. Technicalities, right? I call that a flat base pattern. And with a standard buy point of 326.20, but I would have gotten in here around 300 when it was just trading right along here, because now it's a little bit extended. 6.6% above its 50 and 3.8% above the 10. So that is the strongest of the mega cap tech stocks or the Magnificent Seven or whatever you want to call them. Tesla, this one's just forming a base here, consolidating, nice cup with handle. Now, if you go by the standards, you would wait for the high in the handle for that to clear, because that is like proving itself, right? Clearing out the overhead resistance. But to me, I mean, I would like to buy this thing closer to the 250 or closer to its 50 simple moving average, actually. But that's just me. I mean, a lot of people just own this stock forever and a day, and they're just going to hold it forever. And they're just Teslonians. And you could see that they've been treated very well by this stock here over time. So there's a reason for that. But for me as a trader, I would try to get in as early as possible and just take, a 10 or 20% gain whenever this thing decides to break out. Anyway, that's Tesla. NVIDIA is the last one of the Magnificent Seven, and this one is forming a flat base as well, just like Meta. I know it's 18%, but you can't be picky. For me, this one, the key component for this is that it traded below its 50, and then it just kind of wedged higher above in lighter volume, but it just keeps going higher, and now it's 2.7% above the 10. 2.2% above the 50. So it's cleared the 50, and it looks to me like it just wants to keep kind of just slowly grinding higher back towards that 500 level. But we'll see. We'll take it one day at a time. Anyway, that's it for the mega cap technology stocks, the Magnificent Seven. And I told you that I'm not going down the negative road today because there's too much relative strength out there, too many quality stocks that we need to look at. We need to focus on stocks that are setting up in bases and on our watch list and making new highs. And I'm going to start with stocks making new highs, because in order for the market to rally higher, it's got to have leading stocks trading higher and making new highs. And so I'm just going to go through some of these. I don't own them or anything. I'm just making an observation about stocks making new highs here. I'm going to start with that today. This is the Fabrinet, and it had this big breakout. And this is why I always say you got to don't ignore these big moves here. It was 143 to 154 in this day, pulled back here to 146, and now is at 177 and making new highs. There's a couple in this group that are strong, and I don't want to just get locked into one group, because there's a broad base of new stocks making new highs. So I'm going to pick on those and not these electrical contracting manufacturer stocks. This is Jabil, and on this day that it broke out, 18% move, 400% above average daily volume. Now it just keeps cranking higher. So you can't be afraid of these. You gotta embrace them. So that's another new high. I'm going to get out of this sector though and go to a stock that I just put on our watch list. And this is NTNX. I like the weekly chart here because it shows this big consolidation in a stage one base, and it's just trying to emerge out of here. You can see the overhead supply. That was from a long time ago. I'm not really a big overhead supply guy. To me, this stock's going to break out, and if there's sellers, there's sellers. But it's been over a year, so I expect this one, to cut above this. What is it? 36.62. It closed tonight. 36.71. Yeah. That little area there, let me get the line pin. It's going to clear this here and move higher. You got to believe, folks. You can't be wishy-washy about this stuff. NTNX, another one that I like, QLYS. Now this is in the software security group, the CrowdStrike, Palo Alto Networks, Okta, Zscaler group, and you can see this big cup with handle, and it has the Market Smith is picking up the buy point there, pattern recognition's picking up the pattern with the buy point here at this 154. But definitely you can see this thing's powering higher with volume the last 4 or 5 sessions. So definitely a quality setup, making new highs. So stocks making new highs we like. Now this is Vertiv Holdings. This one, I had it a much lower buy point because it broke this downtrend line. But, this is just like a wedge pattern. It broke above the downtrend line, but it just found support at its 10 and then blasted off today and then pulled back. Very peculiar action here, as it looked like it was going to break out and rip higher, and you can see that it closed at 4% of its daily range, and you don't want to see that. You want to see it closing at the high of the daily range. So we'll see what happens with this stock. Probably needs some more time around that $40 level before it's ready to break out. And they have earnings on October 25th, but made a new high. So we like stocks making new highs. Zscaler, I mentioned that one, and that's a cybersecurity group, made a new high. I mean, it gapped higher yesterday and then tacked on another 1.79% gain and made a new 52-week high today. We like stocks making new high. Murphy USA, this is a retail super mini market stock, and this thing just would be on my heat list if I continued having the heat list. This one broke out when Casey reported earnings, in Casey General Store, and it just keeps ripping higher. This has a gas component to it, but making new highs. And like I say, we like stocks that make new highs. Speaking of which, Carpenter Technologies is a steel stock. So I'm showing you stocks from, a variety of different groups that are making new highs. It's not just one group or the Magnificent Seven that's leading. There's a lot of stocks making new highs that are showing strength here as the market starts to turn up. It's amazing that since we hit October, it's been acting better. But I just wanted to point this one out because it made a new high. I'm not interested in owning this or buying it, but it's another new high from a different group. Duolingo, this is one I was interested in. I completely blew this one. So mad at myself, but it's gone now, and I don't like to chase stocks, but it does look good. Made a new high. You can see clearly the double bottom base here. The pullback, the shakeout before the breakout happens, most of the times. But I just got to say goodbye to that one. I'm not going to chase Duolingo. See, a Consol Energy. This is an energy coal stock making a new high. This one has just been a beast. Love the consolidation, just a strength higher, but nope. You ask me, did I buy it? Nope. It's from one of the stronger groups, stronger stock and a stronger group. And it just does, can't kiss all the babies. So I didn't buy that one. Sorry. Abercrombie and Fitch. I love the retail space. I know that, the consumer's slowing and blah, blah, blah. This one continues to defy all the pundits here. Broke out 31% May 24th. You didn't get it in, broke out again. Gapped higher 23% on August 23rd. So we'll have to wait for November for another breakout. But you can see it pulls back to the 21. Found support, ripped higher, pulls back to the 21. Found support, rips higher. Made a new high today. A retail stock making a new high. Imagine that. And last but not least, the insurance stocks. This is consolidation as well. You can see the flat base pattern, and it made a new high today. It looks like it wants to break out. You see the volume coming into this one. I'm not big on insurance stocks, but stocks making new high from a variety of different groups is the point that I'm trying to make here. You don't have to like them. You don't have to love them. You don't have to buy them or own them. I'm just pointing it out. That's what happens in a new uptrend here, is we're starting to get a broad-based rally. Okay, enough of that. Get off your soapbox, and I'm going to go to stocks that are on my watch list. It's set up that I may own. Supermicro. This one formed this double bottom base. We talked about the Nasdaq forming a double bottom base, but this one definitely has a distinct double bottom base, and now just ripped higher. It just ripped right through that 50, went through 300. I was thinking that 300 was going to provide some sort of resistance, but it hasn't, at least not yet. Maybe it'll pull back there tomorrow. It's had a nice gap today. And you're thinking, well, gosh, I had this on the watch list. I forget the price that I had, 280. Last week was like 270. I moved up to this 287.73. So, now it gapped above that. So what do? Do you chase it up here? I wouldn't. If I didn't own it, I would wait for it to have trouble with 300 and try to buy it near that 298 buy point. I would not chase that up there. The high yesterday was 291.99, and the low today was 294.98. So it has a gap there, 292. So just be patient, and patience will be rewarded. Hopefully, this thing could, how this thing moves. It moves very fast. I mean, it could make a new high here, tomorrow, the way this thing moves. But I would be patient with it. I don't know. if you don't own it, but that is a super move there on the double bottomed and just ripping right through the Debo Samuel, putting the foot in the ground, driving right up the field. I like that action in SMCI. And this is AXON, and I had this one on our watch list. I forget, I don't have the prices in front of me. I've been kind of scattered today. I've been out and about, so I don't know what AXON, but I know that it has a standard buy point of 217.61. We had it below here as it rallied through the 50, and I forget, I'm sorry, but I forget the buy point that I think it was 206. Yeah, 206. And so it ripped up higher today, still below average volume. I wouldn't say that you had missed this just because, you haven't bought it yet. I think this is still actionable, although I would wait. It's up 7.8% this week in 2 days. And getting extended from its moving average is 6.5% above the 10. And that's a nice move too, right through the 50, not looking back. You got to love that, showing strength. That's what you want to see is power, through these moving averages. A CDNS, now I think I showed you Synopsys. Maybe I didn't. Synopsys made a new high today. I don't think I showed you that one. I should have written that one down. Yeah, I don't think I showed you that one. Nice consolidation, made a new high. This is computer software design. So that one's making a new high, and CDNS, did it make a new high today? I didn't see it on my new high list, but anyway, it looks like it did. This is on my watch list because of this consolidation pattern. And then same thing, like the index, it pulled back and then ripped higher. Since October started, this thing's acting a lot better. The standard would be 247.50. I forget what number I had for it, 242 something. But anyway, this thing still looks good to me. And they make the designs for the semiconductor chips, so if you believe the semiconductor space is starting to repair and get healthy, and it's had its little trough, and now it's going to start to hit the other side, this would make sense that it would be doing well for designing for chips. CDNS and Synopsys, both of those look good to me. What else do I have? Oh, Bentley Systems. This is it's computer software design as well. This one is just still building the right side of the base. It did, power through that 50 like you like to see, but to me, it's still building the right side of the base. Probably handle out, shake out some people, pull back before it takes out that 55.37 high. Anyway, you got to think positive, folks. Palo Alto Networks. Wow, this one's it's a herky-jerky, kind of a scattered pattern, and I know why. It's because everybody was scared of Palo Alto reporting on a Friday afternoon. I don't know why they did that, but they crushed earnings, and they went up on this day right here, 14%. So that was a Monday. Yeah, 8/18 was the Friday they announced, and they come back Monday, just blast higher with volume. And then it got dragged down with the general market weakness to 224 and powered right back through its 50. Since October started, this thing's starting to act better as well. You could say the standard, buy point would be 258.88 and its old high. Once it breaks above the old high, I mean, it's right there at 256. So I expect to see that one on the new high list soon. Love Palo Alto Networks, well-run company, great stock. Obviously, in our world today, cybersecurity is definitely needed. Another one that I like that's just kind of playing possum today is Arista Networks. You can see the flat base pattern, not a long pattern, but the thing that I like about this is that it was doing well when the Nasdaq was, sucking bad air, and then it just got into this flat base pattern here. If I show the weekly, what is this? 6 weeks. Okay, not enough time. I think it needs more time. Let it flatten out under 200. Should have some resistance at 200. But good stock. I'm actually looking to buy that one myself. Should have bought it already, but I haven't. This is Elastic computer software database. I have to show the weekly on this one because it sold off, got murdered with the software names last year, formed this huge base. You can see the pattern rec picks it up, was a cup with a handle, stage 1 base. I really like the looks of this weekly chart. You're gonna have to be patient with it. On the daily, you can see it's just kind of going sideways now, allowing the moving averages to catch up. You can see the 10 and the 21 are trending higher, but the 50 is just starting to get rolling here, and the 200, the longer term moving average. This looks really good to me as well, and that's why it's on our watch list. CrowdStrike was on our watch list, but it's got extended. You could see this, clear consolidation here for CrowdStrike. I got 161, 162, just was in this 140, 160 range for a long time. Then it broke out last week, I believe last Friday, when we had our follow-through day. And it's just trading higher now, but CrowdStrike will pull back. I wouldn't chase this thing here at 180, 184, whatever. Let that thing come in, let the moving averages catch up. Be patient. Your patience will be rewarded. Don't chase. I don't chase. I can't tell you what to do. If you want to chase, go ahead. This is Akamai, and this one's just pulling back, forming this bull wedge. This looks a lot like Vertiv. After a nice run higher, a pullback, and now today it had a good day, 2.3%, but I think this one's just getting rolling. It's got that flat base look with 107.47 standard. And it's only been 5 weeks, so that one needs more time as well. Pens, and this one's got that double bottom look. Just that right side of that base there's it's getting extended here. Actually, gonna have to trade a little sideways. How far above? Yeah, it's 6.2% above the 50, 4.5% above the 10. So that's had a nice rip right through the 50. And needs to consolidate a little bit, trade sideways, but I like that chart as well. What was I going to point out here? Oh yeah, one more thing. I was going to stop there, I believe, but I have one more thing. I was going to say something about the Nasdaq, but I forgot what it was. It's not important. It just got rejected at its 50 today. Oh well. Anyway, Pepsi reported earnings today. Okay, Pepsi always beats earnings. But they said a couple things on their call that piqued some people's interest. One is that the weight loss drug is not affecting their sales, and that's because Walmart CEO said that they saw less calories being bought, and he attributed it to Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly's weight loss drugs. And so there's a bunch of media narratives going around, and that's why the food stocks got hammered. I mean, they've been going down, but they got sold off even more aggressively. And you can see Pepsi was part of that. You can see how much it sold off. But now that they reported earnings, you see some short covering going into earnings. And then today, they had a nice report. And the one thing that I did notice that I heard was that they said that there's drinks sales, and they mentioned Gatorade, but drinks were strong sell-through. And it made me think of Celsius, because they own 8% of Celsius, I believe, and they have the opportunity to buy more. But anyway, Celsius investors took note, and it was up 5.3%. And I want to see if this thing could rally through now that 50 here. You can see it definitely pull back hard, and then now put the foot in the ground, is going right back through. It looks like it wants to go right back through the 50. So I definitely wanted to point that out on Celsius. Definitely a strong stock. I see a lot of people drinking Celsius. I'm thinking it's pretty popular. They're getting some global, they're expanding globally. So I think it has more run in it. And so anyway, Pepsi, talking about the soft drink sell-through, specifically Gatorade, and Celsius responded today. And anyway, that is all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up.